Hello, Brad Wells, Laura Leonard, and joined with UIC head coach Ashleen Bracey here to preview our MVC TV network game of the week. It's a 6 p.m. game this January 2nd as the Flames are at the Bulldogs in Des Moines, Iowa. Coach Bracey, thanks so much for joining us here today. And let's start with your Flames 3-6 through the non-conference. You lost some very close games. Four or just single digit differences. What was it that you learned about your team in that non-conference?
I think we built a really tough schedule, a tough non-con, because we knew that the Valley was going to be, really competitive this year with so many COVID year seniors. And what we learned is that we can play with anybody. It's something we've been really working on, down the stretch of non-con, was just how to close out those close games. And for me, a lot of that is chemistry and just playing together. And I think we're building on that. And I think this is a squad that's going to be prepared for conference play.
Well, it looks like you have used multiple starting lineups. I know you've got a huge bench, a deep bench.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think maybe you're one of the leaders in the country as far as bench points go. So I guess the question is, have you settled on a starting lineup, or are you going to continue to tinker with that?
Yeah, Laura, I don't necessarily think that you can settle on a starting lineup when your strength is your depth. Just because I think you need to leave that door open for people to earn, starting spots. And so I think it's helping us have really competitive practices. And it's funny because especially with playing coaching in the Missouri Valley Conference, like, when you think about trying to compete for a championship, you try to build a deep team because of the way the schedule lines up. You're playing Thursday, Saturdays, or Friday, Sundays, and that's just a lot of pounding on your kids' legs. I will tell you, although I think it's one of our biggest strengths, I think it's one of the hardest things to figure out and to piece together properly as a coach. And so, I think a big key to that is leaving the door open for people to earn spots and minutes to shift and all of that so that you can keep your competitiveness in practice and keep getting better.
Well, let's talk about one of your players that you've had for many years, and that's Jada McLeod. And you always, it seems like every year, always have a little moniker for, a nickname for, Decisive Jada, Leader Jada. Yeah. What Jada do you want to see this season in the conference play?
Yeah, it's funny because we had a discussion about this with the team in the locker room, and we decided this year we're just calling her Jada McLeod. She's been a staple for our UIC Flames team. She's an anchor. She can pass the basketball. She can rebound the basketball. She can score the basketball. So we're not nicknaming her. It's just who she is Jada McLeod. And we're expecting Jada McLeod to show up every night. And, I think Jada has really excelled in Valley play, and I think that, she's starting to understand our need for her offensively because she's going to rebound. She's going to defend. But just understanding that, like, we need her to show up offensively each and every night. And she takes great shots. And one of my favorite things about McLeod is she's truly like a point forward. She can handle the basketball. She can pass. I think she's a staple for us and really important piece for us to be successful.
Coach, conference play started on Sunday for the Missouri Valley Conference. Your first two weekends of 2025 are on the road. How do you use the start of MVC play as a motivation for this team?
Yeah, for sure. Not only did I build a really tough non-con, but then the Valley, starts us on the road for at some of the top schools. But you know what? Like, we're embracing it. There's a lot of really good teams in this Valley Conference, and like, it's going to come down to putting a complete, Valley play season together. And so we're embracing it. Just as we got to start on the road, there's other teams that do as well, and we get to end at home. So we're embracing what we got, and, we're taking it one step at a time, just trying to be our best selves along the way. And obviously really excited about, the opportunity to compete in Valley.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for joining us today. Laura and I are excited for the game coming up 6 p.m. here on January 2nd, the Flames at Drake. You can catch it on the MVC TV network.
Thanks, guys.